Alrighty. Big season. Big season. First and foremost, the goal for this season. 4 wins. Just kidding. The goal is to win the goddamn Super Bowl. Like, clearly, that is the goal. That is the goal. There's no point in being like, oh, if we just say make the playoffs, then we'll get some points. No. The goal is to win the Super Bowl. So, damn it, let's do it. Please. Oh, goodness. As we get a look at the upcoming drafts. Pretty diverse. Couple wideouts. Quarterback out of Pittsburgh. Duly noted. Hopefully this doesn't turn into the MLB rebuild. No kidding. Oh boy. Our old friends in Atlanta. Our old friends. Yeah, the goal next year is cap compliance. That would be great. What is the goal? A stifling defense. And it starts with the run, because that is the one that we are most likely to accomplish because of the AI's running tendencies for AI teams. So, should work okay. We do have to go with the scouts. To be honest, we had a decent draft going as basic as we could in terms of setting up the scouts. So, we are going to do that again. Let's go to the region breakdown. It's true, should that, penalty be okay, but then we also have a lot of guys whose money is going up next year, so it's going to be interesting. For a national scout, we need wide receiver, offensive tackle, or left end. For a west scout, left end, left tackle, DT. For a central scout, left end, wide out, strong safety. For a northeast scout, wide receiver, quarterback, defensive end. And southeast, left tackle, cornerback, wide receiver. All right, let's go see what we have for scouts here. I mean, we already kind of know what we had for scouts there. As we do, let's fire everybody. Short-term contracts here in Arizona. So ideally, wide receiver, offensive tackle, left end. Is there an offensive tackle, defensive end specialist? Doesn't look like it. That does not exist. What do we have for wide receiver focus then? Wide receiver, tight end. All right, well, the national scout's going to be less than ideal. There's the offensive tackle, defensive end. So Connie Seo. I don't normally like to have a 2-star as our national scout, but she will be our national scout. Defensive end, offensive tackle, defensive tackle. Defensive end is a common thing. Defensive end, outside linebacker. That doesn't fit with anything. Defensive end, defensive tackle. That fits with the West. So Travis Bailey. You'll be heading west. And then we go to the 1-stars. We have defensive end, wide receiver. Do we have defensive end and wide receiver? I doubt that's going to line up. You never know. There is safety in wide receiver. George Coslow. Let's bring you in. That's fine by me. Fine by me. You'll be our central scout. Northeast, we don't need to look at quarterback, so we're looking at wide receiver and defensive end. Does that exist? Wide receiver and defensive end. Not looking like that's going to exist. Not looking like it. Yeah, that's not going to exist. Not going to happen. I'd say defensive end's more important. Do we have defensive end and quarterback? We have defensive end, quarterback, wide receiver, and quarterbacks there. Fuck it. Let's just save a bit of time here. Go for Bowers. Southeast is offensive tackle and corner. Does that exist? Offensive tackle and corner, unless I have missed it by scrolling too fast. That does not exist. Mills, what's going on? How are you? We'll go corner and wide receiver then for Victoria Medina. All right, that should be good enough in terms of scouts. So again, Travis Bailey, whose contract did you change? Yes. We reconstructed most contracts. Most of them. So it's desperation time. It's put up or shut up time for this team. Medina's going to the southeast. There we go. All right, so that's set up. In terms of the scouts, we are still going to have to reorganize the depth chart here, but we can get to our weekly strat before we do that. Get some player upgrades, perhaps, and then it is Atlanta in week 1. And we will simulate this one, given the fact that, yeah, why not? We don't have a breakout moment. Right now, all we care about is the playoffs. That's it. That is focus number 1 above all else. Playoffs. Might want to take a look at our schemes too, but then again, it worked out pretty well last year. All right. Oof. All right, so Glenn Reynolds, one of the rookies. I'm going to keep making him better as a receiving back option. Again, I doubt he's a long-term option around here, though. It's just he's not going to get playing time. Quincy is also a rookie on the team with a hidden dev, but there's no shot for him to make the team at this point. We're just not in a position to give those two guys playing time. And then these two veterans, we can just auto-upgrade. That's fine by me. All right. Let's get a look at the team one more time. Easy for me to say. And we'll double-check schemes if need be. And see what we got. Dennis Payne is the man here. Sam Darnold, his backup. Bringing Super Bowl winning experience to the position. Running back wise, I mean, it's still Walton and Nash. Got Monroe, Reed, and Nash. That works well for me. Richard Head, good to see you. Wideout wise, we are going to put Marco Macklin in the 2 spot. I think. Maybe. That's tough. He'll still get plenty of playing time, I think, at the 3 spot. And Montague, obviously, will be an interesting one. Always staying hydrated, Rich. You know it. You know it. Again, tight end wise, we're looking good. Got Colton Miller, Jay Williams, Jeremiah Proctor, Greg Ringer, Bryson Cook, Chest. In fairness, we want Quincy to be the backup, and actually down the middle. Pretty much want Connor Kincaid to be the second choice for every offensive position. Spencer Brown can be the guy there. Defensive tackle, it's still Lucas and McGee. We have to decide if we're running a 3-4 or a 4-3 this year. Either works for the first time. I mean, having Gary and Malone in the middle is not bad. And it's pretty much, do you want to run McGee or do you want to run Gary? Glenn Parks. Fuller's there. Corners, Callahan, Flowers, Mooney, and Sneed. That works. Jay Williams, this is X Factor. I'm not sure. He might have. To be honest, I didn't look well enough. All right, kicker McPherson, punter Gillikin. Kick return man's Dalton. That's good. That'll get him some extra carries this year. Kick power. Let's have Blake Gillikin on kickoffs. Long snappers Proctor. Third down back needs to be Walton or Nash. Walton, Nash, Reynolds. Slot receiver needs to be Dalton. If it's not him, it should be Macklin. If it's not him, it's going to be Bryce Wells. On the left is Chest. On the right, we want that to be Harris. Defensive tackle. Want that to be McGee, I suppose. So he'll still get a decent amount of playing time this year. And that middle linebacker is actually still... it should be Saucedo. Zone Hawk. That works. Slot corner. That works too. I think we're good. Just have to decide the schemes for this year. What is going to bring us the success that we are looking for? Right now we're on the multiple power run, which I don't hate. We had the 4-6 defense last year that I feel like wasn't insane. 4-3 to 3-4. There's the Tampa 2, which I also don't hate. Because in theory, that should work pretty well. We might have to try a couple of different things this season, but that is going to be how we start out this season. A difficulty. I don't play it often. I only play if we have breakout moments. Otherwise, we sim a lot up to the playoffs, and then I watch the AI play. But when we do play, we are on all Madden. Just default all Madden, no sliders right now. Okay. We are going to sim this for the sake of time and trying to get back to the playoffs. Again, if we get a breakout moment, we'll jump in. I know there's intrigue at what's going to happen against the Rams now that Aaron Donald has retired, who has been my bully for nearly a decade now. As we start off the season with a loss, 28-23. Now, Atlanta's a good team. That's not quite the way we wanted to start off a new season, though. That's not good. Khalid, you're right. We were let down in week 1. It is only week 1, but that's less than ideal. Darth, what's going on? I'm doing well. No complaints. How are you? How goes? Praise Arthur Lucas, that's fine. Beat the Rams. That's always the goal, isn't it? And we're never too good at it. Go to staff upgrades because we'll have enough to get some extra XP. I'm a little bit concerned, though, that we lost that last game. A little bit. Let's get the upgrade XP for the guards. We are getting better and better in terms of the developmental tree. All right. Again, we got to get to the playoffs. We got to win this year. Gotta win this year. This is probably as good of a chance as we will ever have to win a title. Defense was ranked 29th in week 1. I'm not saying I am immediately going to panic switch our scheme and our defensive playbook, but I am immediately going to panic switch our defensive scheme and playbook. Because our defense wasn't insanely good last year either. It was just kind of average. We got to find a winning combination here. We got to find a winning combination here. You got minus 34 stand recovery on one guy. Still. Let's try the 3-4 storm, I guess. We haven't run a 3-4 too often as of late. We can run the Chargers playbook. Why not? We got to find something. We have to find the right combination here. It'll help take this team to a new level. There's got to be that specific code as Marco Macklin improves again Still an 81 as we try to focus on his worst attributes and make him more well-rounded. Glenn Parks, going to be the same thing for him. Make him better in terms of pass coverage. Loving the afro on Glenn Parks. Plus one acceleration's not bad either. And then Cole Reynolds was a random filler offensive tackle this year. Again, our depth did take a pretty big hit this season. I am going to sim this game against the Rams as well, for the sake of time. We need a win here. Please. 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 0-2 to start the season. That's not good. That's not good at all. DeAndre McGee was the NFC Defensive Player of the Week with 2 sacks, but 0-2. The offense hasn't exactly been crushing it to start the season either. 0-2 as an 88 rated team. I am scrambling in my mind right now for what to do. I do not want to look at the upcoming contracts right now because it's going to be pretty bad. Like Khalid Callahan's going to need a new deal. That's going to be expensive as all hell. Run the ball. We have one of the best running backs in the league in the rain game. Run the ball, for the love of God. Is this the Orlando Magic 2K series? I hope not. That was painful enough. I don't need a repeat. Thank you. All right. Let's go for defensive tackles from the West. In the Central. Could go either way. Let's go safety. We'll go wideouts in the Northeast. We'll go corner in the Southeast. I mean, again, right now the team's so well-rounded, we don't need someone at a specific position. Sycott? No. No, we're not. What the hell are we going to do here? What the hell are we going to do? Still the 29th ranked defense through 2 weeks of play. I'm I'm panicking. I know it's only 0-2, but I am panicking. Mills, that was Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Shout out to Maddie for the 4 months on the primer. What's going on? I hope you've been well. Yeah, it was Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Phenomenal. Phenomenal game. I adore that game. Tremendous memories. It was something that I would never have played on my own. Maddie, I mean, my God. The primer, then the 5 gifted. Put a smile on my face, even if this team is doing its best to rip said smile off my face and beat me over the head. My own smile. But, okay, the analogy wasn't great, but you get the point. Maddie, thank you. I appreciate you tremendously. Send help. Send help, please. God. Call Roger. Tell him I need help. Goodness. Okay. What the hell are we gonna do here? What the hell are we gonna do here? We've been running the multiple power run for a while, which should, in theory, work. There is the vertical power run, which could also work, given the capability of our quarterback. Run and shoot could also work, given the ability of our wideouts. The air raid could certainly work. We have the quarterback for it, but then are we going to run the ball as much as we want to? What'll be the first franchise for NHL 24? I have no idea. There's so many different options that we could use here. Honestly, vertical zone run. Was that our best scheme fit too? It is. Let's try it. Let's try it. I mean, we have the Tennessee playbook for the sake of running the shit out of the ball. What's the... I know people have mentioned the Raiders playbook as well. It's the frickin' Josh McDaniels playbook. Let's try it. The 3-4 storm. We're willing to try some different things at this point. I am willing to throw anything and everything at the wall that I can right now to hope that it'll turn it around. How much schemes and playbooks matter this year, who's to say? We're going to sim this game against Seattle. If we lose this, then my God. Please don't lose this. Thank you. Thank you, Hollow Madden. 24-14, we get our first win of the season. Plan the parade. We're not totally screwed. At least not yet. Oh, thank God. We needed that. On a rainy night in Seattle, a.k.a. a night in Seattle. We get the win against the Seahawks. Our first win of the season. Took about 3 weeks longer than I would have wanted. But a win is a win is a win. And now we take on the team that eliminated us in the playoffs last year. The Chicago Bears. The team has to step up, not just Dennis Payne. I'm not blaming Dennis. It's a team effort. We have an amazing team. We should be able to beat anybody, any given Sunday. But we haven't really. I mean, we've only beaten Seattle so far. 23rd ranked offense and the 31st ranked defense. Also, my eye is bothering the shit out of me, so apologies for that. It's the old feeling of an eyelash causing havoc. Is there snow? It was early enough. There probably wasn't snow in Chicago, at least not that early. After these upgrades, I am going to have to check on the contract situations. Holy upgrades. There's a lot of them. Cameron Walton. Playing like a 94 overall right now. Absolute monster. I love him. Zach Henry is an absolute monster, and I love him. Playing like an 88 overall. Or he's an 87, but technically he's an 88 because there's the -1 to morale. He's everything I was hoping he'd be. Manny Saucedo, who we brought in via trade at the drafts. He's already great. Pass coverage, we just got to make him a little bit more well-rounded. Him and his beautiful bald head. Greg Ringer. Better from a power perspective, you and that gigantic fucking noggin of yours. Rashad Gary got better. We got a lot of upgrades this week. The linebacker Rashad Gary continues to improve. He's been solid for us. Lindsey Fuller. You more well-rounded as well. I think Lindsey was star dev and then went down to normal like 2 years ago. Glenn Reynolds, the rookie running back, who's never going to get any playing time whatsoever. He's up to a 71. I mean, there would be a trade there, except the guaranteed money is already causing this team havoc. We'll make Quincy DeBose a little bit better. All right. And we'll auto upgrade Travis Gibson. Not Travis. Trevis. Because they couldn't decide on Travis or Trevor, so they went with Trevis. What do we have for contracts? Well, Khalid Callahan's willing to... Oh, my God. Khalid Callahan, Brandon Bush. Oh, boy. We're showing up with $83 million in cap room. That's going to disappear fucking fast. If I were to go team-friendly deal for Khalid Callahan, is he willing to say yes? No, it does not. Or no, he will not in those teams. Okay. Brandon Bush, would you take a team-friendly deal? I got a team full of Austin Matthewses when I was hoping there'd be a team full of Steven Stamkoses. Devin Fowler's a tough one because we don't even know how good he is yet. Matthias Griffin, there's some... I don't even want to focus on it right now. There's some big boy contracts coming due. We will sim this game against the Bears. Please tell me we're getting back to 500. We have an early bye week this year, too. Please beat Chicago. We lose 28-21 and are 1-3 on the season. And there's an injury. This team is too good to be this bad. Don't have our first round pick this year. Correct. If this keeps up, we're going to be selling in week 8 at the deadline. That is a distinct possibility that we could be selling at the deadline. Clearly, vertical zone run isn't quite working for us at this stage. Which, again, isn't ideal. We had the multiple power run before, if I'm not mistaken. There's the vertical power run that we haven't tried yet. We tried the Tampa 2 so far this year, which didn't quite work as much as we wanted it to. Let's try the Disguise 3-4. Oh, boy. Defense ain't there. Both are the problem, in fairness. Both are very, very low ranked so far this season. Seattle's the only team we've beaten so far. If they get revenge here in week 5, then, yeah, right now our defense is ranked 30th and our offense is ranked 19th. Jesus Christ. Oh, boy. Okay. This is, man, this is scary. This is real scary right now. And we're without our number 1 receiver. We do have decent receiving depth this year, but Brandon Bush is going to be the new number 1 for the next couple of weeks. He's now an 84. A lot of upgrades across the board there. The New York Mets of football. Jesus. If we lose to Seattle, if we fucking lose to Seattle, we win 21-10. If only we could play the Seahawks every week. Sweet, merciful God. Lucas, 6 tackles, 3 sacks. To win NFC Defensive Player of the Week. So 2-4? Was it? No, it was 2 and 3. We're not 2 and 4 yet. Give it time. We're not going to be able to do the XP here. This has to be the morale. This has to be the morale boost on the week off. The team bonding retreat. Boys, you got to figure something out here. You got to figure something out. Find a way to gel and to mesh, because my God. You have one game against the Chargers. If you don't get back to 500, what the hell am I going to do for the deadline at week 8? I'm not going to blow it up because we have to go for it. But the fact that I even just used the term is insanity. You get the Rams in 2 weeks. Going to be 3 and 4. Or 2 and 5. Yeah. I can't believe we've been this bad to start the season. I can't believe it. We do get the bye week, though, to try to sort things out. I'm not trading Rashad Gary. Niners are 4 and 1 to start this season as well. They are currently atop the division. The Rams, only a game behind them at the time. Niners now at 5 and 1. The Rams at 4 and 2. J squared, I don't know, man. It's just been a rough go of it so far. That's all I can say. Goodness. Our defense is now ranked 11th after the bye week. Our offense is still ranked 30th. Okay, 30th ranked offense. What the hell are we going to do there? The defense averaged back out because of the bye week. Our offense, not so much. We switched to the air raid. When in doubt, throw it out. It's all we can do. At this rate, let our boy throw and hope it works out. We could go with the Cincy playbook, but we'll probably go with the Buffalo playbook. I feel like the Buffalo playbook fits us pretty well. Chuck the ball and hope we catch it, basically. We have an elite level quarterback in some ways. When in doubt, put the ball in his hands and see if he can save us. That's where my desperation brings us now. Bryce Wells, up to an 89. Unbelievable. An unbelievable player, this Bryce Wells. Looking even better now that he's moved back to tight end. Forrest Harris. God, I would never be able to learn a playbook every week. It would be nice if they gave you incentive to stick to the same playbook all the time and the same schemes, or you'd take a bit of a penalty for it. It would be nice if that was a thing. You know, the idea of like, hey, you can be a Belichick and people buy into your system specifically. Like, that's kind of in the game with players putting importance on a scheme when they sign in free agency, but it could be further fleshed out. Mr. Webster, good to see you. How are you? You're just in time. We're creating tremendous article-worthy content right here as an 88 rated team is under 500. A Super Bowl caliber team that's looking to accomplish nothing compared to what they could accomplish. It's a great time. It's a great time. Scheme should be at head coach, DC, OC. I agree. Schemes should be... I would like that, honestly. Having schemes locked, that way you need to prioritize what coach you have. I agree with that. Well, it's not too late for us to turn it around, Danny, but hopefully we won't have to provide any work for you tonight. But knowing my luck in this game, you never know. You never know, you never know. Week 7. Actually, before that, I do need to send out some contract offers to some of the big boys to see what we can do here. Khalid Callahan, will you take a normal neutral deal? Khalid Callahan is staying. Will Brandon Bush stick around? Wants a little bit more money. Devin Fowler. Will you take a neutral deal? Yes, he will. All right, so we can invest in Devin Fowler long term. Deshaun Mooney, to be honest, I'm going to need you now as a half-decent corner. He wants a bit more money. Matthias Griffin, maybe the best normal dev player I've ever seen. Neutral offer? Cool. Matthias is back. We're getting low on money already. We're getting low on money already. Oh, good. Good. I love being low on funds. Speaking of fun, can we beat the Chargers, please? Please tell me we're going to beat the Chargers. Please. Please. God in heaven. Let us beat. Thank God. 14-12. Really, really leading the way with that air raid. 14-12. And now at 500, we play the Rams in the trade deadline week. A win is a win, but Jesus. 14-12, it was enough to win. If we lose this game to the Rams, we're freaking toast, man. The morale hit's going to be brutal. They're 4-3. I don't know how the freaking Niners are so good, too. They just lost quite a few players. It's past off season. Let's go with a player-friendly deal for Brandon Bush. Brandon's back. Deshaun Mooney. You take a player-friendly deal. Yes, you will. Henry's hurt, to be fair. That's true. Michael Lucas. Will you take a neutral deal? Yes, you will. I am so low on money. Jeremiah Proctor is kind of my last guy to have to re-sign. Will you take a neutral deal? Yes, he will. I think depth safety Monty Henson is... He's the guy that's... I can't sign him. He's a depth safety. Rashad Gary at least plays if we run a 3-4. That's all the money, though. All right, we're going to wait. We're going to wait. Especially, too, because Colton Miller's on a one-year deal. We're going to wait for the rest of these guys. Also, Dennis Payne. Oh, my God. Dennis Payne has a fifth-year option. Did I save enough cap room? Also, Dennis doesn't want to come back. We have to win the goddamn Super Bowl this year. I know he has an extra year after this, but holy shit. This could be real, real bad. If Dennis Payne walks, this team is dead in the water. If Dennis Payne walks, I'm going to get fired out of a cannon all the way to Utah for our UDFA challenge. Oh, boy. I'm like dead in the air. Shot out of the sky. Brought to the taxidermy office. This, very quickly, this got scary. We were looking so good, and then we made a lot of progress very quickly, and now we have hopes and expectations, and apparently nobody knows how to handle it. The offense is still struggling quite a bit. Payne, thy name is Dennis. Well done, Dan. God. All right, this friggin' game against the Rams. We lose this one. We fall back under 500, lose the season series to Los Angeles, and fall even further behind San Fran for the division title. Chest. Looking good. Dennis Payne, who I hope to never see wearing a different uniform. Please, God, never wear a different uniform. If I lose this freaking quarterback. And then Marco Macklin, our 3rd overall pick. We'll make him better as a slot option. That's fine. That's where he's playing. Actually, that's not where he's playing. I lied. I just lied to your face. We can auto-upgrade Mark Butler because he's just random filler with his big-ass noggin. Can we beat the Rams, or are we in a buttload of trouble? An entire buttload. One could argue a metric butt ton. The buttress. We do win 37-19. Plan the parade.